Hello, everybody, and welcome here tonight to Talladega Superspeedway. My name is Zach Wettstein. We're here for the Original Rebels Racing League Xtreme Xfinity Series. Magic Mike 150 at this 2.5 mile racetrack, or a little over 2.5 miles. Go ahead and check out your race information here tonight. Either 2.65 miles in length, 99 degrees is the track temperature. You can see it yourself. Pretty overcast this race here tonight at Talladega Superspeedway. Real quick before we get started, send prayers out to Mike Uribe, family stuff going on with COVID. So sending my well wishes out to them, and just everybody, if you can have them in your thoughts over the next couple of days, it'd be very appreciated. Yeah, hopefully we can help Mike. I know he's probably not watching tonight, but distract him a little bit if he was watching, with some great racing here at Talladega. Qualifying is underway. We'll go ahead and take a quick look at your schedule. Charlotte Motor Speedway coming up in a week's time for 115 laps thereafter tonight. May 28th, going to be Homestead, Kansas, and then the Charlotte Roval to round out the season, or the regular season anyways. 35 laps around that. It's 2.5 miles once you add up turns in the infield. And then you got Dover, Kentucky, North Wilkesboro for the first round of the playoffs, round of 12. We'll cut them off. We'll cut 4 out of the playoffs and go to the round of 8. We'll head to Darlington, back here at Talladega, and then Richmond. We'll cut off 4 at Richmond, and we'll have a championship 4 set for Phoenix Raceway on August 13th for 150 laps at mile-length racetrack. So we're getting near the end of the regular season now. Gone through a bunch of great racetracks, had a bunch of great races, and now we see our second super speedway of the season, second of 3, with Talladega coming back, round of 8. This one a little bit easier than the iRacing super speedway that we saw to open up the season in February. Definitely a lot easier racing here in my opinion, although it is not easy to race here, so a double-edged sword in my opinion. But qualifying, I believe, has ended. It has. We're getting ready to get underway here tonight at Talladega Superspeedway. We have 32 cars in the session. See how many actually got up. I imagine most of them all will. See, nope, we're going to go TV3 grid. All right, your race grid here. Jamie Barkus grabs the pole spot tonight with the 53.991. Philip Manzo qualifying 2nd. Fry Hubbard 3rd. Garrett Kinder qualifying 4th. Thomas Lee 5th. Justin Hendry qualifying 6th. Patrick Drabick starting this one in 7th. David Cornell in the 8th position. Cody McElwain starting this one in the 9th spot with Brandon Wallace on his outside in 10th. 11th tonight goes to Jeff Paisley with Kai Schappert starting in the 12th position, his outside. P13 goes to Jonah Colbert with Josh Thompson starting in the 14th position. Chuck Feltz starts this one in 15th. Charles Stevens Jr. qualifies 16th on his outside. Tim Wettstein starting this one in 17th with Jeff Hill on his outside in 18th. Qualifying 19th is Josh Hall with Logan Sturgeon rounding out the top 20 tonight. Matt Geis qualifies 21st with Jeremiah Kershaw in 22nd position. Matthew Cornell 23rd. 24th is Matt Knights. 25th tonight, Mike Brown with Eddie Smith starting in the 26th position. Mike Kostek starting in 27th. Joey Buscemi 28th. Jeremy Brialt 29th. Jonathan Schmiel 30th. Josh Lokenvents 31st, and rounding out the field is Eric Santee in the 81 car. They are off and rolling and take the very long trip around this 2.6-mile racetrack. They get ready to go 60 laps here tonight. 150 miles. And it'll be interesting to see if we get any green flag pit stops. That would definitely shake some things up. Not easy to do here. It is easy to get onto pit road, but when you're around 10, 15 other drivers, it can get very difficult. Jamie Barkus, Philip Manzo, your front row, going to lead this field off to turn 1 and collect that green flag. Once again, 60 laps, 150 miles here tonight. Not sure about the fuel mileage, so we're going to find out together if they stay green that long to find out how long they can go on a tank. I'd imagine they'd maybe at least be able to make it halfway, but we'll find out. All right, that pace car takes the left-hand turn onto pit road. Remember, this super speedway different than from Daytona, where right here would be the start-finish line in the tri-oval, but Talladega, you got to wait all the way until past the tri-oval, the start-finish line. And the green flag is out. And Philip Manzo, I'm not sure if he's going to get a penalty or not, but he started way out in front of our leader, Jamie Barkus. Wow. Still pretty overcast at the start of this race. So usually this track doesn't eat up tires anyways, but now it won't even more with it being overcast. You can see it's kind of bright there on the back stretch. Already 3 wide back in the middle of the pack, as the first 4 or so get single filed out. And for the majority of the field, it is either single file or double file, but there is one car, and that's David Cornell, 3 wide, but not going to help him. He's going to fall all the way back to the 18th position. Bry Hubbard up to the 2nd position now, and oh, we got a wrecker on the front stretch. Tell who that was. But it stays green. It looks like they either saved it or it was a wreck below the yellow line off the race surface, so maybe iRacing just didn't feel the need to throw the green or the yellow flag. And now a race for the lead. That's Fry Hubbard on the inside, Jamie Barkus on the outside. Jamie has now collected his teammate, but can they stay in the lead as Thomas Lee pushes Fry Hubbard up to that lead spot, but that outside line now getting a really good run on him, and oh, it's getting a little wild behind him. That's Philip Manzo having some issues. By the way, those drivers back there are not laps down. Unfortunately, it's when I broadcast at a big track like this, I've tried to fix it, but it won't. It just doesn't show everybody on track, so it's not counting some laps for people further back in the field. So, no, not all those people are a lap down or more than 3 or 4 laps down. It's just for some reason not counting them on my timing screen per usual. You come back here, you see there. I wish I could know how to fix it, but it just will not go away. Fry Hubbard up to that lead spot, but those two Those two Goat Locker Racing teammates there, Jamie Barkus and Patrick Drabick, fighting on the outside as we are now on lap 4 of 60, and those two teammates both in the top 3 in points, looking to try to get a win at a very tough track to win. As you see, very close quarter racing here. Drivers all over the back bumper of each other, and if they're not, they're still inches apart, going almost 200 miles per hour. Oh, and it gets a little shaky for Patrick Drabick. But he collects his car, and everything's still going smoothly. So we are 3 wide a little bit further in the back. That is Brandon Wallace 3 wide, but he is all alone, no help at all. Now 5 green flag laps completed, so nice job by these drivers so far at racing hard but racing clean as well. I mean, to have 2 wide racing like this for 6 straight laps and not have a wreck, which they haven't completed this lap, I'll give you that, but to go 5.5 laps without wrecking while 2 wide like this, very impressive. But if it's like this at the end of the race, which it probably will, it's Talladega. If it's like this at the end of the race, you're going to see drivers a lot more aggressive than they're being right now. But man, side by side for the lead, and they have been for multiple laps on end ever since Fry Hubbard got up here with Thomas Lee behind him in that one machine. They have not been able to pull ahead of Jamie Barkus and Patrick Drabick because, for the most part, both lines pretty even in numbers, and not one line is kind of collecting more drivers than the other, and so that's why they're staying so even. Great racing going on so far. Fry Hubbard, Jamie Barkus, Thomas Lee, Patrick Drabick, and Cody McElwain, your top 5, but that basically changes every single lap with how they're racing right now. And if we go a little bit further back, where unfortunately it likes to glitch these people out, this is actually Jeremiah Kershaw, and they're wrecking Fry Hubbard around. I'm not seeing it showing anything of him wrecking, but we're going to definitely go back and see what happened there. It actually shows. Coming out of turn 2, and oh, contact from Thomas Lee at the wrong spot of the car. Bends that car around. But the racing continues. Now Jeff Paisley has taken over the lead on that inside line, and oh, teammates almost side by side there. Oh, it's getting a little wild up front as they were almost 3 wide as Jamie Barkus was trying to get in front of Jeff Paisley. It doesn't work. That's going to send Cody McElwain back, and that's going to send Jeff Paisley to the lead with Garrett Kinder behind him. But right back up here is Jamie Barkus and Patrick Drabick. They fight right back, and once again side by side for the lead. And it's going to be tough to keep up 50 more laps of this, but hopefully they can. It's been great so far. Three wide for the second position. That's Justin Hendry on the outside in the 85, and he's going to get a little bit of help from Cody McElwain. There's about 4 cars on that third lane starting to build up. We'll see if they get together and if they can start to build a third lane. Yep, those 4 cars have now gotten together, and we'll see if they can make a push towards the front and make it a 3-wide battle for the lead, but they got a little while to go to get up there, as we are still side by side for the lead. But Jamie Barkus, as I say that, jumps in front of Jeff Paisley and now controls that inside line. And oh, they're down to the apron. That's not where you want to be. But they get through it. That could have been very bad. And with that inside line kind of going to the apron, that's going to open the door for that third lane to kind of get a little bit stronger and make their way towards the front. Now you have 2 of the the 2 of the Goat Locker Racing teammates were side by side, but now they're lined back up on the inside line, and we're 3 wide, basically in the 4th row or so. Leading that group, I believe, is Josh Thompson, but now we're going to see a different car jump out there. That's Charles Stevens Jr. in the 88. He now dives back to the second line. So that third row on the outside is really stalled out now. Now Eric Santee with some help on that second row behind him. That's Josh Thompson in the 013, starting to make their way towards the front. That third lane just does not have enough people right now to get a good enough run on those bottom 2 lanes. That second line, they're wrecking behind him. That's the 2. Oh. And the first caution of the night is out. Matt Knights, you see that car right there. As you see, the 2 comes up. Let's go back a little bit. That is Matt Geis. It's a little loose and just goes straight up into Josh Hall, and unfortunately. First wreck of the race comes on lap 13. As Patrick Drabick, your leader, Eric Santee second, Jeff Paisley third, Josh Thompson fourth, and Garrett Kinder the 5th position here early. We see some pit stops. And we do. Drivers down pit road. Oh, didn't mean that one. And everybody down pit road. See some drivers staying out there. I don't know if they were on the lead lap or not. with that wreck, some drivers are going to have to use their quick repair. I believe they have those in. I don't know. I do so many leagues that I sometimes forget which series have them, which don't. Yeah, there's Josh Hall. He was a part of that wreck. He has a brand new race car. Jeremy Brialt stays out. I believe Jeff Paisley beat Patrick Drabick out of pit road. So Jeremy Brialt, the only car in the lead lap to stay out. The other car, Matthew Cornell, he's getting a wave around. I was showing Sam Wetstein up there. I don't know if he's showing him in the lead, but I'm not sure what's going on there. Make sure to tune in a little later on tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern, where you're going to see some ARCA racing at Lime Rock. Brought to you by Rebels Racing Network. We're going to have Patrick Drabick and Jamie Barkus up in the booth once again. And I'm going to be out on track, so should be a good one. Jeremy Brialt down to pit road along with Michael Kostek. And it looks like, yes, Sam Wetstein stays out, and that actually stops Matthew Cornell from taking the wave around. So Sam Wetstein elects to stay out, take the lead. Jeff Paisley on his outside in second. That is your front row. Patrick Drabick and Jonah Colbert, your second row behind those two. And we're going to go back to racing on lap 17, so we're going to get right back to what we just saw for about 14 straight laps. See if they can't do that again or even longer, and that is just a tough feat when you're at a track like this. To be that close to so many other drivers going almost 200 miles per hour, it's fun, but it is tough not to wreck. And so the fact that it took them 14 laps to wreck, not a bad job at all to start this one out, but still a long way to go. 44 laps to go. Sam Wetstein going to lead that group, and usually you want to get a great jump to get out in front of other drivers at racetracks, but not here. You get too good of a jump, you're going to get swallowed up by the competition. So don't want to get too early of a jump if you're that 98 machine. He can go whenever he wants to, though. Probably smart to wait later to actually go. And he does. The green flag is back out here at Talladega Superspeedway. He has Patrick Drabick behind him there in that 07 machine. Going to push him out and clear for the lead. That inside line definitely better on this restart. You almost have 4 clear on the inside, but Jeff Paisley going to stop that from happening and fight back along with Jonah Colbert behind him. Now that outside line is starting to build up better, and it's getting a little congested there on that inside line. Then Wetstein going to lead this lap as long as Patrick Drabick behind him doesn't make any sudden movement to the outside. Eric Santee in the 81 was going to try to go up and get in front of Jeff Paisley on the outside line, but not able to, and that actually kind of hurts that run a little bit that outside line had built. So this time around, and it can change very quickly here at Talladega, but this time around, that inside line definitely better right now than the outside line. Last time, we basically saw it dead even in numbers, inside and outside line, and so they were able to stay basically first through last pretty even side by side, but this time around is different. Usually when a wreck happens here, whether it's a big wreck or a small wreck, that is going to kind of calm the field down a little bit, just because, well, that's the first big thing to happen to the field when you have that first wreck. And so everybody, you don't want to be a part of a second wreck, so everybody chills out a little bit. You do see, though, those drivers on the outside, they do not want to chill out. They want to get up there to the front. Now a third lane building, and almost a wreck with Jeff Paisley. He saves it, and thankfully the other drivers around him were aware. They don't end up wrecking. Starting to see a third lane building, but only 2 drivers. See you on board here with Sam Wetstein. All you're worried about if you're the leader is what's out your front windshield, and you do have to worry, though, about what's behind you. You got to pay attention to whether that car is choosing to stay with you or they're going to go to the outside line. So you see in his rear view mirror that Patrick Drabick staying with him right now. Go with the third car in line. That's Eric Santee. You're going to hear him out of the throttle more than anybody. Well, not more than anybody, but out of this top 3, you will see him out of the throttle more than the 2 in front of him. Just because you can't push the pusher. If Drabick's pushing Sam Wetstein and then Eric Santee pushes Patrick Drabick, well, that can turn that 07 car around. So you're going to hear him out of the throttle more. Justin Hendry there on the outside line, leading the way, going to try to get up there to the front. Got Joshua Smith behind him, or Josh Thompson, sorry. I don't know why I said Smith. I apologize. Now 20 laps into this one, completing lap 21. A third of the way through, and I imagine they will have to have, well, I don't know if they'll have to have green flag pit stops now. We'll find out. They're wrecking. And Eric Santee holds it down, and they somehow make it through it for now. Wow, that could have been disastrous. It is disastrous for drivers like Eric Santee and Garrett Kinder. And you see now there's 2 separate packs, and that outside line starting to make its way towards the lead. And since everybody had to check up, that's going to, like you see on screen there, separate the field a little bit more. There's Fry Hubbard back up here near the front. We saw him wreck a little while ago, and well, he didn't hit the wall, so he was able to save it, but obviously lost the draft. And with that caution, the last caution, that gets him back up here with this pack and about fighting for about 4th place on that outside line. That second group starting to get a little bit closer now to them, but and that really shook things up a little bit with that near incident. This is racing, folks, on lap 22, lap 23. Imagine what the racing's going to be like on lap 60. That last lap, or really the last 5 laps at a track like this, are always very chaotic and fun to watch. Maybe not fun to be a part of if you're driving, because it's going to be very stressful, but very fun to watch. Sun's starting to peek out a bit more out of the clouds. Right now, track temperature is 94. Was 99 earlier. As Sam Wetstein remains out in the lead, but maybe not for long. Here comes Fry Hubbard in the 14 machine on the outside. He has help from Josh Lokenvents in the 79 machine. Big push from that 79, and big push from Patrick Drabick. Going to cause a wreck, and probably the big one, and it does. Patrick Drabick goes to push Sam Wetstein, and everything goes wrong from there. Turns him right into second place, right in front of the entire field. And utter chaos from there on out. Check this out from a chopper. Watch basically the whole field get collected here. Some drivers make it through, but not many. That is a Talladega wreck right there, ladies and gentlemen. You reckon if you're a leader and you wreck, it's going to be disastrous behind you. With that caution, we're going to be restarting next time around halfway or so. Thankfully for all these drivers, if they at least were able to keep their motors, they're going to be able to make it down to pit road and get their quick repair. But it can be unfortunate if you lose your motor in the wreck and you have to tow. Oh, you're out of luck. You're going to have to wait 3 minutes or so to tow, and luckily, that's only going to get you about a lap down here. Be surprised if we don't see all the lead lap cars that were able to drive their cars back, go down pit road. Like either a lot of cars are slowly crawling to pit road, and yeah, there they are. A lot of damaged cars crawling to pit road there. Garrett Kinder's right front go back to normal, and probably a decent amount of more damage that got fixed there. Justin Hendry, your race leader now, made it through that, I believe. And if not, got his quick repair and got out first. But man, with only one quick repair, that wreck really should settle things down, because you got to make it at least 30 to 32 more laps in this race to actually win it. So drivers got to be very careful, since we're only about to get to halfway and most of the field having to use their quick repairs. That there is the 71. That is Jeremiah Kershaw getting a lap back. Wave around. Make sure to tune in next week for Charlotte Motor Speedway, 115 laps there. We'll head to Homestead, Kansas, and the Charlotte Roval to round out the regular season. So we're going to have 3 mile-and-a-half racetracks, and then I can't remember the exact length of the Charlotte Roval. Tonight, the last of a 3-race stretch of 2-mile or longer racetracks. Starting at Michigan, then we went to Indianapolis last week, and finally Talladega tonight. Justin Hendry, Fry Hubbard going to be your front row on this restart. Brandon Wallace, Josh Lokenvents behind him in the second row. Right now what we're seeing is Talladega at its finest. I mean, we got Josh Lokenvents in 4th. Started this one in 31st. Eddie Smith in 6th. He started 26th. Logan Sturgeon in 5th. Started in 20th. So, I mean, a lot of big movers throughout this race, and some of it may be due to wrecks, but, I mean, we've seen Logan Sturgeon up inside the top 10 more recently, along with these other drivers. Josh Lokenvents was pushing on the outside line, and he was second on the outside line. Sam Wetstein, who was turned to cause that wreck, is restarting in 9th, and Patrick Drabick restarting all the way back in 15th. They were running 1-2 when that wreck happened. Justin Hendry is off the green flag, back out here on lap 28, going to lap 29. So 32 laps to go in this one. And everything getting very stretched out on this restart. Two cars on the outside. That's Fry Hubbard and Josh Lokenvents. Logan Sturgeon now moving out there. And he's going to go 3 wide. Wow. Not sure how much of a smart move that is right now with the last 2 wrecks, but I don't think it's going to work out much with no help behind him. And it doesn't. He has to fall back in line, but that outside line is together more than that inside line right now. Can Fry Hubbard get clear for the lead going into turn 1 ahead of Justin Hendry? He's clear, but is he going to leave Josh Lokenvents on that high line? He does not, so he's going to stick with that outside line for now at least. Josh Hall making some moves. He's going to go 3 wide on the outside. But Josh Hall right now is alone. No help behind him as Sam Wetstein gets past him. He's going to be stuck out there for a little while now, unless he gets some help. That second lane, that middle groove, going to push him all the way back outside of the top 10. Bry Hubbard, your race leader. Josh Lokenvents behind him. Logan Sturgeon the first on the middle lane, the outside line right now, with Sam Wetstein behind him. Oh, and a little bit of contact behind them. They stay straight. Now Sam Wetstein going to move up to that third lane. He has a little bit of help. That's Eric Santee and Josh Hall. Got to be very careful when pushing in that third lane. And no, they're going to go 4 wide. Eric Santee does not want to be behind anybody right now. Goes 4 wide with Sam Wetstein, sending him back the 13th as of now. And now they're 3 wide. Joey Buscemi in the middle. Is it? No, it's not. I don't know why I said Joe. I'm used to Joey Buscemi being the 8. Someone is the 8, but not showing that on the screen. Oh, and wrecking in front of him. Everybody, oh, and no, they're wrecking. Sam Wetstein in the wall. 71 of Jeremiah Kershaw around. I do want to figure out who that 8 machine is, though, because I'm very confused. That's a car that looks like Joey Buscemi, who runs the Cup Series, but it is not Joey Buscemi, obviously. Like it started with Charles Stevens. No, I'm trying to tell who that. Charles Stevens Jr. in the 88. Ooh, a bump. That's from Eric Santee sending him around. And who is that 8 machine? But yeah, that starts the wreck and back live here. Well, I believe they only have 1 quick repair, and if they do, that's going to knock some people out of this one. Still 27 laps to go. I could be wrong, though. We'll find out. See who all goes down pit road here. Nobody up front. There goes Sam Wetstein, a part of that wreck. Nobody else. Everybody else had to tow. Like. See if Sam Wetstein's car refreshes or if it's damaged permanently. Yeah, that car not resetting, so they only get 1 here tonight, and that's going to hurt a lot of people. Anybody a part of that wreck, though, who hadn't used a quick repair are still good. They'll be able to use that one here. Looks like Charles Stevens Jr. hadn't used his yet. So Fry Hubbard, your race leader here on lap 34. Again, make sure to tune in here in about 2 hours and 12 minutes at 11 p.m. Eastern to catch the ARCA Series here on Rebels Racing Network. Going to run their last race of the regular season before the playoffs and be a double points night at Lime Rock. Right now, there looks like are 26 cars on the lead lap. Some damage, some not. Joe Buscemi is in session. That is Joe Buscemi. Okay. I'm glad I wasn't going crazy. I am so happy that again, folks, I broadcast so many series that sometimes I forget who's in what. I apologize. Doesn't matter how much I broadcast a series, sometimes I just blank with how many names I have to say on a weekly basis. Nonetheless, we're about to get back to racing with 25 laps to go. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight for the Magic Mike 150 here in the Goat Locker Xtreme Xfinity Series here at Talladega Superspeedway. Couple of wrecks here in the first half of the race. Now into the second half with 25 to go when we go back racing. And some drivers were able to use their quick repair and get back out there after that last wreck, and some were not able to, and so that means they're going to be, fortunately, at least somehow, some way damaged the rest of this race, and that can hurt you here, even in the draft. Fry Hubbard and Logan Sturgeon going to lead the field back to the green flag. And Fry Hubbard is off. The green flag back out here at Talladega Superspeedway. The front two are running away from the field, but that's not something you want to do too much here at Talladega, is run away from the field, because then they can swallow you up when they get hooked up in the draft. So got to be careful if you're those front two drivers. Right now, mostly all inside line racing right now. Jeff Paisley and looks like Eddie Smith on the outside line. And, oh, they're going to hit the wall. Can they keep it out of the wall? That's Josh Lokenvents, who maybe got forced into the wall a little bit. Go back and see what happened there. Ooh, Josh Lokenvents, Justin Hendry get together, I believe. No, Justin Hendry's in second. I apologize. That was Chuck Phelps in the 75. There's Justin Hendry in the 85, pushing your leader right now, Fry Hubbard. Logan Sturgeon fighting for second right now on that outside line, and it's getting a little squirrely here on the front stretch. As Logan Sturgeon trying to get some help from Chuck Phelps and go up there and fight for the lead. A lot more drivers down on that inside line than there are right now on that outside line. But here comes Patrick Drabick, going to try to help out in that 07. Oh, and wrecking. That's Patrick Drabick. Kai Shappert's around. Yo 13 of Josh Thompson. See the whole field kind of scurry there. Let's check out what happened a bit closer up. Kai Shappert in that third lane. Drabick tries to move up, and too late. Kai Shappert is there. That causes our third or fourth caution of the night. And with Drabick having to use his quick repair after that wreck earlier at the front of the field, that's going to hurt severely for that 07 machine. That caution, we're going to be going back to racing around 18, 19 laps to go. And that's drivers got to keep it clean until then, because like I said, if you want a car that can race for the win at the end, you got to make it to the end first. So very crucial part of the race for the drivers that still have not totaled their car or gotten a lot of damage to their car. Need to try to survive until those last 5 laps or so where you can really race it out, because racing it out with 18 to go not going to mean as much if you can't make it to that last lap. If there's a wreck with 18 to go. Not saying they'll race it out with 18 to go and wreck, but you race that hard with 18 to go, say they do, and it causes another wreck, then not only hurts others, but it can hurt yourself. So that last lap is the most important lap at any racetrack, for that matter, but especially here when you talk about how hard that you have to race here. All right, 1 lap to go to the drop of the green flag once again. Bry Hubbard, Logan Sturgeon going to be the 2 to lead the field to that green flag. Behind those two, going to be Justin Hendry and Chuck Feltz. Jeff Paisley in 5th. Brandon Wallace in 6th. Eric Santee in 7th. Cody McElwain 8th. 9th is Eddie Smith, and your top 10 ends with Jeremy Brault. Long way to go in this one still. 19 when we go back racing, so. I keep thinking to myself that, you know, we might see a little bit of single file racing just to, again, make it to the end of the race, but they've been aggressive every time and going too wide, which is completely fine. It's Talladega. You can't blame someone for wanting to go at least too wide at Talladega. Definitely a better show than single file. Pace car takes that very slow left turn off of the racetrack, and we're getting ready to go back racing with 19 to go. Bry Hubbard, Logan Sturgeon, they are off. The green flag back out. A great jump for Logan Sturgeon. He's going to try to get himself clear for the lead going into turn 1. Wow, what a run for that 26 machine as he does. He stays on that high line, though. He's not going to take that low lane in front of Bry Hubbard. And oh, he blinks. That's not good. Don't want to blink at Talladega, as that's going to stack that inside line up, and they're going to go 3 wide. Chuck Feltz behind Logan Sturgeon, and there goes Justin Hendry. He's going to jump out of line. It's going to move Brandon Wallace up to 2nd. Justin Hendry, the leader of that outside line now. They're going to make their way towards the lead. Bry Hubbard watching that 85 machine on his outside fly past him, but again, we're not going to see that. We're not going to see the leader of the outside line. Oh, Logan Sturgeon gets loose. And the outside line checks up, and that's going to cause him to wreck behind him. Go here with Eric Santee. Check up in front of him, and he just can't check up in time. Actually does check up and just gets loose and gets down into Josh Hall. To Jeff Paisley, and then Josh Hall gets up into Jeff Paisley. Starts all that happened afterwards. That car is destroyed. Logan Vince down pit road. Eric Santi's car, it looks new, so he had a faster pair left. Fry Hubbard, ever since he got up here to the lead, has done a nice job at staying up front. Thing about being up front here is it doesn't really matter, unfortunately, because when it comes to that last lap, you can go from the leader to 25th if there's that many cars on the lead lap running. And not even a whole lap, just maybe a half a lap, a wreck on the back stretch. So it's great to be in the lead right now, but a lot can happen between here and the end of the race. $16 laps to go on this one. Probably going to be 14 when we go back racing. Fry Hubbard, Brandon Wallace, Justin Hendry, Cody McElwain, Logan Sturgeon, your top 5. Jeremy Brialt, your biggest mover so far, in 6th. He's up 23 spots. Started in 29th in this race. Yeah, this is the unfortunate part of this racetrack. Is a lot of fun to watch, but pace laps can be brutal. Once again, I'll remind you here of the schedule since we're under caution here. Nothing, obviously nothing happened on track right now. Charlotte Motor Speedway next week, and then 3 more races after that at Homestead, Kansas, and Charlotte Roval to round out the regular season. That Charlotte Roval going to be an exciting one, and definitely the biggest wild card of the season, and that's crazy because, I mean, we raced at iRacing Superspeedway, and that's always a wild card. How crazy that racetrack is, 3.5 miles long. But Charlotte Roval is just a different kind of wild card. It's a road race, and you got to make right-hand turns along with left-hand turns. That adds a different degree of difficulty. And someone who needs a lot of points to make it in, maybe win that race, maybe better at road than others, can take advantage of that race. Lights are off on the pace car, so we're going to go back racing this time around with 14 to go. See there on your screen some beat up cars kind of near the more rear end of the field. Fry Hubbard and Brandon Wallace now your front row. This time around, Justin Hendry, Cody McElwain, your second row. Third row, Logan Sturgeon and Jeremy Brielle. Fourth row, Chuck Phelps, Garrett Kinder, and then Jonah Colbert and Eddie Smith. For fifth row, running out the top 10. Cars off. Fry Hubbard getting ready to fire back up through the gears. In front of Justin Hendry. He is off, the green flag out. He's clear for the lead. He's going to move up immediately as they remain side by side behind him for second. Brandon Wallace, Justin Hendry, and everything getting kind of scattered. The field getting scattered here on the restart. As that inside line once again starting to build the numbers over that outside line. Brandon Wallace out there leading that group with the 89 of Jeremy Brielle behind him. Garrett Kinder as well. And now Logan Sturgeon going to find his way out to the outside line. Oh, they were almost 3 wide there, and now they are. Brandon Wallace stuck on the outside 3 wide, but he's going to get some help from Garrett Kinder as he allows him to fall into line. Now 2 separate packs on racetrack right now. You see behind this main pack a different group of cars, about the same number of cars. As they split, Justin Hendry 3 wide. Chuck Phelps on the outside, along with Logan Sturgeon and Jeremy Brielle, leaving Justin Hendry to hang. Now Jeremy Brielle going to be stuck on that outside line. Garrett Kinder starting, going to stay out there and collect him. 3 wide in about the 4th row, 5th row, but not very many cars 3 wide back there. As they get back into line, that's Garrett Kinder and Jeremy Brielle. They fall into 9th and 11th. Logan Sturgeon going to give Chuck Phelps a push. Cody McElwain, we haven't seen him up here in a while. He was up here early and then got shuffled back after he went 3 wide, or he was pushed 3 wide on the outside. He's now back to second, pushing your leader, Fry Hubbard. Jonah Colbert behind him in the 31 machine. Inside line has the advantage as of now. Chuck Phelps leading that group, going to fight back. That inside line getting a little squirrely. That might kill their momentum a little bit. Here comes that outside line, that 75 machine. Side by side for second with Cody McElwain right now. That's Chuck Phelps. He's going to try to now get up next to Fry Hubbard. But Cody McElwain has done a nice job at pushing and keeping that from happening. And that inside line right now is doing a lot better, and that group that you had seen behind him has caught up. They are almost 4 wide back there near the middle of the pack, but they are definitely 3 wide. And Jeff Paisley, he's going to wreck. Oh, and they're flipping back there. Eric Santee flipping. Brandon Wallace flipping. The 63 of David Cornell flipping. And that was a case of side drafting gone wrong. See here, go into the far chase cam. Look at that 7 machine on the outside in the green and black. As he goes down. Makes contact with Brandon Wallace. Maybe a little bit of net code, and that's going to take out a lot of drivers. And wow, Matthew Cornell in the 64 took the journey of a lifetime. About 30 feet in the air there. Let's take another look at that. I think that's worthy of an onboard, folks, don't you? And no way he could have told, kind of tell this was going to happen. Just comes out of nowhere, and oh man, you get motion sickness. That might have just made you puke into a trash can. That caution is going to leave us with a lot of damaged cars, I imagine. And with less than 10 laps to go now. Fry Hubbard, though, mentioned earlier, he's done a nice job at staying out in the lead. That time, Cody McElwain giving him a nice push. Stay out front. And with that caution, we're going to be restarting with probably around 5 or 4 laps to go. And, man, I talked earlier about 5 laps to go or so is when it gets crazy. And we're going to be restarting right around when it gets crazy. So I definitely don't expect that to be the last caution. Hopefully it is, but, man, it's Talladega. Kind of expect a caution in the last 5 laps. With that wreck now, your top 10, Fry Hubbard, Cody McElwain, Jonah Colbert, Chuck Phelps, Eddie Smith, Logan Sturgeon, Jeff Hill, Jeremy Burrell, Philip Manzo, and Josh Hall. That is your top 10. 11th, Sam Wetstein, Justin Hendry back to 12th. Patrick Drabick, 13th. Matt Geis, 14th. Josh Thompson, 15th. 16th is Kai Shappert. 17th, Brandon Wallace. 18th, Garrett Kinder. 19th, Thomas Lee. 20th is Eric Santee. Josh Lokenvents in 21st. I believe the last on the lead lap. Oh, no, he's showing actually 22nd now. That lap down. All right, here we go. Lights are off in the pace car. We're going to be restarting with 6 laps to go. Fry Hubbard, guy that was pushing him, Cody McElwain, now on his outside, restarting second. He's going to have Jonah Colbert behind him in third. Chuck Phelps in fourth, pushing Cody McElwain. It's very, very gloomy day at Talladega in the simulator. You always love to see kind of a sunny day at Talladega. Not this one. Track has been under shade for a good amount, and it's been pretty overcast. I imagine that track temperature has dropped even more below 94. Now 86 degrees. Big question now is, can we keep this race green for 6 laps in a row? Like I said, it's Talladega, so if it's not, I won't be surprised, but that's not saying anything about these drivers at all. It's just the nature of Talladega. Fry Hubbard, the race leader, is off, and the green flag back out here at Talladega Superspeedway as they move up through the gears. Cody McElwain trying to fight on the outside. He's got Chuck Phelps behind him in that 75 machine. Once again, the field's starting to split up a little bit, get a little strung out. Maybe some of those damaged cars just can't keep up. 3 wide for the lead. Wow. Cody McElwain in the middle, Chuck Phelps on the outside, Fry Hubbard on the inside. As Chuck Phelps and Logan Sturgeon, what a strong move on that third lane. That gets them out front on the outside line, but not in the lead just yet. Who's going to lead this one across the start-finish line? Chuck Phelps ahead right now. And he moves down in front of Fry Hubbard. He's going to lead this lap. 5 laps to go here at Talladega Superspeedway. Fry Hubbard's been used to leading this one for a while now. He's now going to have to be the pusher. Cody McElwain going to try to push Logan Sturgeon past Chuck Phelps. And that third lane starting to get some occupants once again. That's Justin Hendry along with Matt Geis and Kai Schappert. As now Logan Sturgeon moves down on the inside line in front of Chuck Phelps. Cody McElwain doing as much side drafting as he can without actually causing a wreck, and he has to move up. Josh Hall behind him. This is with 5 to go, now 4 to go, ladies and gentlemen. Cody McElwain fighting on that outside. Logan Sturgeon can't stop the run. Josh Hall looked like he was maybe peeking. Oh, somebody blinked out. They're back. And that's going to spinner on the backstretch. That's Fry Hubbard. He doesn't spin. He stays straight. He's going to have to get back on track here somewhere. But, man, that is costly. That's going to push him all the way back to at least 14th, if not worse. As it continues to get crazy. 3 wide for the lead and for second place. Looks like we're in the era of having 2 cars drafting together, not a whole pack. But this field does eventually get back to 2 wide, sorry. Cody McElwain leads that lap, but cannot move down in front of Logan Sturgeon, so going to have to stay up there in front of Josh Hall. That outside line stacks up a little bit with 3 to go now. Side by side for the lead once again, and that third lane continues to try to build something. What a push from Josh Hall. That's going to get Cody McElwain out to the lead, and now Josh Hall going to lead that outside line. As they come down the front stretch, we're going to collect 2 to go here at Talladega Superspeedway. Need to get around to that white flag if they want to finish this one under green and finish it with the next flag instead of going to an overtime green-white checkered. Cody McElwain in the lead. Logan Sturgeon behind him. The outside line starts with Josh Hall and Justin Hendry. They're 3 wide behind him, 2 wide up here near the lead, though. As that third lane starting to build up, you see the David and Matthew Cornell on that outside line, but I believe they are a lap down, or at least multiple laps down. It's Brandon Wallace and Fry Hubbard fighting on the outside. The white flag is out here at Talladega Superspeedway. This is for all... well, I was going to say something, but I kind of blanked. This is for the win right here, ladies and gentlemen. Cody McElwain, your race leader. And he stay that way. They're wrecking behind him. We should stay racing green. They're continuing to wreck behind him, but this field continues through 3 and 4 for the final time. Does anyone have anything for Cody McElwain and Logan Sturgeon? When is Logan Sturgeon? They're wrecking again behind him. When is Logan Sturgeon going to make the move? He moves now. Side by side for the lead. Down the tri-oval. To the start-finish line. Logan Sturgeon wins at Talladega Superspeedway by not even half a car length. Wow, what a finish. Continue to wreck on the backstretch and even on the front stretch. But the leaders continued on, and Logan Sturgeon, what a strong move to make that pass on the front stretch and win this race. Check that out. Down the front stretch into the tri-oval side by side. Chuck Phelps can't get a good enough run. Josh Hall helps Logan Sturgeon, and a photo finish. That car all damaged up, probably at least from some people hitting him, congratulating him. Somewhere, Jason Warren is celebrating this victory, and oh, Garrett Kinder knocks Logan Sturgeon's head off here. Don't worry, just a celebratory bashing and banging here. No, no hard feelings. That's just people congratulating Logan. Hey, Logan, it's Zach in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Hey, what a finish, man. First of all, congratulations. That's the kind of finish you want to see at Talladega, where you got a photo finish, and you sure had it over Cody McElwain. Take us through your mindset that last lap, and really, I guess, coming out of turn 4.
Oh man, I was pushing Cody, and I knew that I had to clear Josh to have a chance, and we got that run out of I got that run out of 4, and I knew I had to go, and I saw everybody coming in behind me, and I was just hoping. I saw everybody going 3 wide, and it just so happened it happened that we were able to get that win, man. I don't even know, that was such an insane race.
Oh, absolutely it was, and it was a chaotic race at that. Take us through kind of how it was to get through that chaotic race, because I talked about in the broadcast that you got to make it to the last lap in order to win it. So I'm not sure if you had to use a faster pair. It seemed like everybody did at least once, but take us through how chaotic it was out there.
Oh man, dude, it was insane. And when you got the size of talent that our league has and stuff, uh no win is taken for granted. I got the best teammates in Big Fish Motorsports going on, and shout outs to Chuck Feltz, who helped me, and I helped him throughout the entire race. I was trying to get him his first win, but unfortunately, just the way it fell, it just didn't go that way. You know, Dega always has the big one, but people always forget about the last one, and that's usually the one that collects the majority of people. And we were in the right place at the right time. We avoided the majority of everything, and we were up there at the end of the race like we wanted to be, and we got it done.
Well, heck of a race, heck of a win. You got any shout outs you want to throw out there?
Like I said, I got to shout out Big Fish Motorsports, Charles Stevens, Chuck Feltz. He worked with us tonight. We worked with him. I want to give a shout out to Full Send as well. Jason Warren, Josh Oswald. You know, they've been. I've been kind of getting down on myself. I haven't been getting the finishes I want. They've been helping me get through everything. So shouts to them for being awesome, and you know, it's just I love Dega. This is the second time I brought home a win at Dega, so I can't be any happier than this finish.
Well, I'm glad you could pull through that tough stretch to get here because that was an absolutely great finish, great win. Congrats, and look forward to talking to you in the future.
Thanks, guys.
Waiting room. I'm not sure where he was. Just gonna send him to waiting room, and he can find his way back to his. Great race for Logan. And a great win. Now we're going to talk to Cody McElwain, who had a great race himself there at the end, and one spot short, unfortunately. Very close to pulling off the victory. Hey, Cody, it's Zach in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, man, I got you.
Well, man, I know it's one spot shorter than you wanted, but that was just an insane finish. Great race. I mean, you were behind Fry there for a while, giving him some great pushes to keep him out in the lead and keep yourself in second. Take us through your mindset in that last lap. I know there's not much you can do to fend off that person behind you because that'd be a really hard block to.
Yeah, for sure, man. I knew he was gonna make a move there. The whole time I knew it was coming, and if I'd have had an opportunity to maybe block, I would have, but I just didn't. I didn't want to cause a big melee there, so I just kind of waited on my help, and I almost got back to him, but just come up a little bit short. 0.02 is what I'm showing.
Yeah, I mean, it stinks you didn't win, but I'm glad that you didn't cause a huge melee because that turned out to be a great finish. Like you said, 0.02, I think you said. So, I mean, it can't get much closer than that at all. So, take us through. I'll kind of ask you the same thing I did Logan. It was kind of chaotic throughout that race after the first 14 laps went green. Take us through. I think I remember I saw you going 3 wide and you fell back. Was that kind of the goal, or did it just happen that way?
No, there towards the beginning, I was riding behind my teammates there, and something happened. I can't even remember what it was, but I had to check up, and then I got a guy on my inside, and I didn't want to try to force my way back in there, so I just kind of went to the outside and dropped back. And from that point on, I just decided I was gonna, on every restart, I was gonna get to the bottom and ride, until we got closer to the end, just so I would have some options if we had some wrecks, and it worked. I got through that whole race without using a fast repair. And, yeah, that was my game plan, and just one spot short, man. It stings, but we'll take it.
Well, still a great race from you, man. You got any shout outs you want to throw out there?
Yeah, I'd just like to give a shout out to our sponsors. We got Gill Insurance Advisors, Jam Printing and Promotions, G to G Trailers, Tracks for Vets, and Travis Lee Creative. And as always, I'd just like to thank my teammates Pat and Jamie. I'd like to thank the guys that put on this awesome league, and I'd like to thank you for doing what you do, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, well, great race tonight, man, and looking forward to seeing you out there in the future. Talk to you, maybe.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
All right. And finally, Josh Hall, your third place finisher here tonight, and kind of a finish that maybe wasn't paid attention to enough, but he was kind of a big help to Logan on pushing Logan and helping him gain that victory. And now talk to Josh. Hey, Josh, it's Zach in the booth. You got a copy?
Loud and clear.
Well, man, I just said it on right before I brought you in here that, that finish between Logan and Cody kind of overshadows the fact that, man, you were a huge reason that Logan was able to kind of keep up with Cody there with that push. Were you going to try to force something 3 wide, 4 wide, or was it just too late?
Well, first I pushed Cody up there because I was just trying to get to the front, and I told him to take it at one point because I was just trying to set myself up for the end. Coming to that last lap, I saw Chuck push high, and I'm like, you know what? I got to push the issue. I'm going to do what I can. And Logan came down a little bit, and I gave him the push. I wasn't actually trying to push him. I was just trying to get him a little bit of loose and see if I could get a run on him that way. But I ended up pushing him to the win, which I'm not mad about. It's a podium. Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, it was a great race, and I've used this word a lot. It was chaotic after those first 14 laps that went green. I know you were at least a part of a couple, maybe obviously not your fault, but a part of a couple, and it happens at Talladega. What was your plan on rebounding after being a part of those wrecks?
Well, and that's just it. I tried to save my fast repair the longest I can. I got caught up in a couple things not of my doing. I tried to run a real a conservative aggressive race, if that makes any sense. I know I like to run that third line, but I wasn't taking it too crazy. I wasn't making any top to bottom jumps. I was just trying to run my race, keep myself out of trouble, keep the nose clean, and that's kind of how it ended up there.
Well, it was a great race, man. You got any shout outs you want to throw out there?
Of course, I want to thank everybody here in the Rebels League. Do a great job. These races are awesome. I love racing with you guys. I love calling the races on Sunday night. A lot of respect, a lot of give and take out there. Even though I didn't really see it, there was a lot of give and take out there. You up in the booth, Zach, I appreciate it. Everybody over at Intensity Broadcasting and Intensity Racing, bringing this 81 Supra home, fast car. I got the sponsors on the side: Gill's Dump Truck Service, fastest dump trucks in the Northeast, KinderOnly.com, and Stripper Glitter tire traction compound. So that stuff sticks to everything. And yeah, I'm looking forward to what the rest of the season brings.
I'm looking forward to as well. Great race tonight. Looking forward to talking to you in the future.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right, that was Josh Hall, your third place finisher here tonight. Final podium spot, and that wraps up interviews for tonight. Great race. Obviously, a consistent amount of wrecks there kind of in the middle of the race, but man, what a finish. And I think we need to check that out one more time before we head out of here. Go here down the tri-oval and right, let's go. There's the finish. I mean, can't get much closer than that. Just a great finish from these drivers and great race from everybody. I mean, heck, they're almost 4 wide right there behind them. We talk about the race for the lead, almost 3 wide, or 4 wide actually, behind them there. So great racing, fun. It's always fun to watch a race from Talladega. Look forward to what these drivers can do at Charlotte next week. Pull up your results real quick before I put that up. There are your final results. We'll scroll through that. Tough race for Jamie Barkus, the first to be taken completely out of the race. Finishes 46 laps down. All right, those are your finishing final results here from Talladega Superspeedway. Make sure to tune in next week at Charlotte Motor Speedway for 115 laps on that 1.5-mile racetrack. Especially make sure to tune in over the next, 10 or 11 weeks, because that's we're getting really close to the playoffs, and these next 4 races are going to set up what will be the playoffs. So looking forward to the great racing we're going to have here over the next 4 weeks to finish out the regular season, finishing with that Charlotte Roval race, which is going to be crazy. But one last time, congrats to Logan Sturgeon tonight for the race win, and congrats to everybody for a great race. Thank you guys for tuning in here tonight. Make sure to tune in at 11 p.m. Eastern, about an hour and 20 minutes for ARCA Racing at Lime Rock. But From Talladega Superspeedway, Rebels Racing Network, my name is Zach Wetstein. Have a good night.